Welcome to Weekly Talk. Featuring Danny
and Chris. Welcome to episode 29. That's 29 of Weekly Talk featuring
Danny
and Chris. But you guys already know that because the intro says that now. I don't know why. Whatever. We haven't seen you guys or talked to you guys since Valentine's Day, which was a couple weeks ago. I don't know. What do you feel like we're kind of slacking?
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame it on seasonal depression.
Is it though?
Maybe. What are you saying? I'm just lazy?
Yeah.
Are you lazy?
Sometimes.
So we're gonna chalk it up to the fact that we've both been kind of lazy and kind of unmotivated. Not gonna lie. I do have a couple things to open with.
Can you hear me? Oh, never mind. I can hear me now.
Do you know that post that I made that had like a lot of attention with the top 10 top rappers?
Yeah.
So that was not my top list, all right? It was just an example of who should be included. If you got to pick one person to add to that, who would it be?
J. Cole, Kendrick.
That was 2.
Well, I don't know. I wanted to throw those 2 out there.
All right, yeah. J. Cole and Kendrick will definitely be 2 of the new age rappers on the greatest of all time list. Now, that post actually created quite a bit of, like, arguments within it. And a lot of people were pretty mad that I threw Eminem on there.
Well, I don't know why. Because you'd be stupid to think that he's not, like, one of the top
All right, so
rappers.
Somebody even went as far as to challenge me and say that the whole reason Eminem has the most album sales in hip-hop is because his group or his demographic of people who buy it. She was implying because white people. Because she said, because he has the same type of fan base as Taylor Swift, which I know is a bunch of white girls. Eminem don't have a bunch of white girls.
I feel like that's just being ignorant.
That's being petty. Because she has yet to rebuttal. I asked her, I said, then why is the second most sold artist in hip-hop Tupac? She has not replied. Because I'm pretty sure in the early 90s, Tupac wasn't appealing to a bunch of inner-city white kids.
Right.
That's all the argument was. So if you guys at home have an idea of who you would add to this list, feel free to hit us up. Let us know. I'm not going to argue with anybody. If they belong on your list, that is your list. I think you're unplugged, Danny. Nope.
No,
never mind.
I was talking.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into our Brittany Ask. Still no beat. I actually haven't talked to iDub in a long time. Maybe not being made. We'll see.
Hey, Danny. Hey, Chris. This is Brittany. You know, I really, I think I got busy and procrastinated and forgot my question of the week, not day. So, okay. So, I got into this app, TikTok. It literally led me down a dark hole of just everything. And it's been like consuming my life for the whole 24 hours that I've had it. So my question for y'all is there a new app out there that y'all are just really like can't live without, or you just fallen into the hole and then nobody's seen you for like a few hours and then you finally come out of your room and you're like, who are you? Why are you here? Da da da, that kind of sort of thing. That kind of app that just like makes you forget where you are and who you're with and everything like that. So I hope y'all had a really good week, a really good Valentine's Day, etc. I'm sorry if I'm late, but you know, shit happens. It's life. I'm Brittany. Shit happens. So I will see y'all next week with my next question of the week. Bye, Danny. Bye, Chris.
So as you guys heard, Brittany said that she kind of forgot. And if I had to be real with you, we pretty much rely on those questions. So that's kind of why we didn't record last week. No, I'm just fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. But we do like them. We do rely on those questions. I like answering them because it's like, It's like being able to talk about yourself, but at the request of somebody else.
Mhm.
I don't know. My favorite app is, I don't want to say it's TikTok. I like watching TikTok videos on YouTube. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit there and scroll through a bunch of TikToks. I
Mhm.
like that somebody else already did that.
Right.
So I get stuck on I'm stuck on TikTok, but via YouTube.
Right.
What is yours?
Well, I was gonna say Pinterest, but I've noticed I've like went away from that, and I will say YouTube. But there's really only one thing I will watch for hours, and
What's that?
it's gonna be weird because I'm like afraid of these things, but I still watch them. So I like the YouTuber Exotic Slayer, and he deals with a lot of spiders, tarantulas. I just like watching his unboxing and feeding and just basically giving a bunch of knowledge about his snakes, tarantulas, spiders. But I watch those videos like I can watch them without the I like watching videos without the sound. It's weird. I'll just put my subtitles on and just read it. I don't know.
Oh, is that what you do when I'm sleeping?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep.
I'm rude. I'll just play the fucking volume. I can't read. You know that.
Mhm.
I ain't graduate from a real high school. I went to a dropout school.
Mhm.
No, I'm joking, guys. Well, I did. I'm not joking about that. But I do know how to read. If that makes sense.
It does. Chris.
Like right now, I'm reading our computer, and we have an HP Pavilion. Pavilion?
Mhm.
Is it a Pavilion, Danny?
Pavilion.
Yeah. I had this. All right, so we have a customer at work, and they're called Pavilion Carpets, and I was joking about how I wasn't reading it properly, not property. And Ryan was looking at me like I was a fucking idiot. So when
Yeah.
you got this kid looking at you like you're a fucking idiot, you got some issues.
Mhm.
Not that Ryan's an idiot, but he based on first impression, you might think that. However,
Not very
Ryan's
nice.
what?
It's not very nice.
He knows people think that he's a burnout.
All right.
Ryan's actually doing really good with the stock market, though. He's got me interested in buying. I don't want to do what he does. He trades contracts, which are options, and more often than not, he's hoping for the downfall of a company, so he benefits for a company's stocks going down,
Mhm.
which is kind of wishy-washy in my eyes because I feel like that's why I have a good job. You know what I mean? Like, part of me feels like we're in such a good economy because stocks were up. Because, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, fuck you, Ryan.
But did you see this week stocks were like plummeting?
400. They were 400 points down on Dow.
Mhm.
And I only know this because of Ryan. I don't think that I'm a stock genius, guys. I'm going to try to get into it. I did buy 50 shares. I'm not going to tell you guys what because you're going to know that I lost money.
Oh, great.
Shut up. Don't worry about it. It'll come back.
Okay.
Right now, we're on a downward trend. And from what I've been reading on Reddit, this is the first time that we've been in a bearish market for like 8 years. It's bound to happen.
Mhm.
We will be in a bullish market in no time. And then I will make at least $3 off of those 50 shares.
All right.
All right?
Mhm.
Let's talk about face tattoos, Danny.
Ugh.
Now, why do you say, ugh?
Because they're hideous. Most times they are hideous. Like, I don't care if that's your life or whatever, but I think it's the dumbest thing you could do. Like, do neck tattoos, that's fine, but why are you covering up your face?
So, did you know Mark Wahlberg has a movie coming to Netflix on March 6th, and it has Post Malone in it?
Yes.
So Mark Wahlberg recently told Post Malone that he was going to regret all them face tattoos.
Mhm.
Post says, "What do you mean?" Mark says they're gonna hurt a lot more coming off than they were going on. So he's thinking that eventually he's gonna want to get them lasered off.
Mhm.
And I think Mark Wahlberg's correct. I think that process is very tedious and painful.
Mhm.
So think about what you're putting on your body, guys.
Yeah. Did you
Like-
see Amanda Bynes' tattoo?
What?
It's not even Yeah.
Is that even a relevant name in the
well,
world today?
some reason it keeps coming up on my
What
feed.
the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, she.
Stupid.
What the fuck?
Chris,
What?
stop.
Oh, hey guys, I told Danny that I was gonna be a rapper
You are not.
with this radio voice of ours, and I actually got my first rhyme. You wanna hear it?
No.
You wanna hear it, Danny?
No.
You're such a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
You're such a beautiful girl.
Chris.
A girl.
Why are you
Uh,
being annoying?
Gotta keep the show going, baby. Don't worry about why I'm being annoying. I gotta fill in the dry spots.
Yeah, well, I was just telling you what she got on her. It's her face isn't.
Ugly.
It's the Chris.
What?
Stop.
All right, so I'm trying to Google what she got. She got it on her face.
It's a heart on her cheek. Yeah,
Oh
and
my
it's like
God.
the ugliest looking heart I've ever seen. It's not even a cute heart.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Girl, you got money. What are you doing?
Well, I don't know.
That don't even look like a heart.
I know.
Man, her looks have declined drastically. I'm going to have to go out on a whim and say she might not be in a good place.
We already knew that.
Is she a drug user?
Former, I guess.
Making decisions like that, you might beg to differ about the former. I don't think. All right, so if I were gonna get a face tattoo, first off, I'd want it to look fresh. You know, I'd want it to look so dope that you would think I wasn't making a bad decision, even though I was.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a heart that looks like a fucking. Looks like a state on a map. You know what I mean? Like a child drew the map, and didn't like add all the fine lines and details, and that's what you got. It ain't no heart. Everybody, go Google Amanda Bynes' face tattoo because it is not a heart. It is something. Yeah, you ever seen that Friends episode where Phoebe and Rachel were gonna go get a tattoo,
No.
and Phoebe backs out. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so she gets this little dot, and Rachel got the full blown tattoo. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so she's pissed at Phoebe. She's like, "Why'd you back out?" Phoebe's like, I ain't back out. This is the world as seen from way away. So I thought that was funny. But it goes back to knowing what you like. That's permanent, man. That's forever.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna regret any of my tattoos?
No, I don't think so.
Not even my feet ones?
No. You can cover those up.
On my feet, y'all. On my right foot, what do I have, Danny?
Where are you going?
Where are you heading?
Whatever. I haven't seen your feet in a long time, Chris.
On my yeah. She don't have a foot fetish, y'all. On my left foot, what do I have?
Why the fuck do you care?
Why the fuck do you care? I remember a long time ago what movie that was from. I don't remember it now. But it was a good movie at one point in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know. Like, I always thought about getting that Veritas Aquitus from, what the fuck is that movie called? Boondock Saints. Do you know what that is?
I do.
The movie?
Yeah.
Or what Veritas Aquitus means?
No, I don't know what that is.
All right. Veritas means truth, and Aquitus means justice. Truth and justice.
Mm.
Because one of them had it on his hand, and the other one had it on his hand, and that's the hand that they, that you would see with the guns.
Yeah.
So, I want you to meet truth, and I want you to meet justice. Me, since we're podcasters, I got microphone 1 and microphone 2. Which one do you want to speak into, buddy? But you have to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is pretending that I'm about to throw a fist. Hopefully he doesn't say microphone 1 because I'm not left-handed. And I'd be pretty embarrassed. Like, I'll throw a punch like Danny.
What?
Huh?
Are you making fun of my punches?
I'm saying they're not, like, super hard.
I don't try.
All right. What do you have, Danny? Because all I brought to the table was the face tattoos.
Well, I wasn't gonna buy into this crap because I don't like to spread. What is it?
What, coronavirus?
Yes.
COVID-19?
Yeah. So, what do you think about that, Christopher?
What do you mean? What do I think about it? All right, so I think.
What is your take
do
on
you
it?
really want me to?
Mm-hmm.
You really want to hear my fucked up take on it?
Yep.
All right, me and Aaron Lane developed this idea.
Are you gonna throw Aaron under the bus just in
Yes.
case it's a stupid one?
Well, no, I feel like so there's a chemical plant based inside of the city where this outbreak initially started, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a chemical plant, but it's like they got money, they got the funds to try to come up with a what is that called? And what is that called, baby?
Biowarfare.
Yeah.
Is that where you're going with
Yeah.
this, Chris?
Yes. I feel like they created it and they put it out there. Now keep in mind, listen, don't go judging right now. How many protests do you see happening in China right now? Yep.
None.
Zero.
But that was Japan, was it not?
No, the protests were in China.
I thought they were in Japan.
Hey, where were the protests in China at?
These are the top results.
Hong Kong protests explained in 100 and 500 words by BBC News as of November 18th, 2019.
Oh.
Hong Kong
Then what am I
is
thinking Japan for?
so I'm not trying to be rude. I kind of feel like you're doing that. They all look the same thing.
Are you kidding me right now?
What? Is that not who you are?
No.
No, she's never been one to judge people based on their looks. For fuck's sake, she married me. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, so here's my thing. Here's my thought. I feel like, how do you feel about population control? Do you buy into that conspiracy?
I mean, I don't.
Do you understand the conspiracy, though?
Yeah.
Like, what would be the purpose of population control?
More resources.
All right, so listen here. Yeah, definitely. What is the total population in China?
I don't know. A
In
crap ton.
2017, the population of China was 1,386,395,000.
All right, that's a lot of motherfucking people. Now I remember that they had the one-child rule, which was kind of for like population control.
Mm-hmm.
However, they might have bit themselves in the ass because we watched plenty of documentaries, and as sad as it is, they were disposing of their daughters to have a son.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking for the future, your sons aren't going to be able to repopulate with other sons. You know what I mean? That's why they got rid of that, I think. So now they had to come up with something else to keep the population down.
Well, I mean, I get what you're going from, but you think they would come up with something a little bit more effective. You said like 1 billion people and only 23, no. I don't remember, like 2,000 something people died in China.
Well, all right. So
and
Corona?
most of them are older generation, so
Yeah, I see where you're going. It's not
I
a very
don't-
effective means
Yeah.
of population control. Corona is just a virus that's formed inside of an animal, right?
well, no, not necessarily. There's different types of coronaviruses, but this one they believe developed in a wild animal, and
I don't buy that.
well,
They're thinking
each their
they're
own.
thinking that it came from like lizards and shit. From the open markets, fucking, playing like touching this shit and not washing their hands and blah blah. I don't buy into that.
I buy into the washing hands.
I do.
If
No,
everyone's
no.
listening,
Yeah, no.
you should probably wash your
Yeah,
hands
listen.
every time.
That's because I haven't washed my hands.
Yeah, and thank you, because now I have to be near him. I've been sick like 4 times already because this motherfucker will refuse to wash his hands. He is the most disgusting person I've ever met in my life. And he doesn't believe in washing hands or something because
Yeah, but dude, let's
no,
be real. This has
you
nothing
get
to do
sick
with
all
what the
time.
fuck we're talking about.
Doesn't matter.
Do I have the corona?
It's no, I don't know, but
I
it's
fucking
still
better not.
it still depends on you washing your hands.
So you don't believe that it could have been a manufactured?
I don't think it's as effective, or it accidentally got out, but whatever.
Well, maybe. All right, so listen. They do know that it's taken away the, 70, 80, 90-year-olds. Maybe
Yeah,
they
but-
want to get rid of these old motherfuckers.
For what?
They still using resources.
Oh my God. No. I don't believe in that. So,
All right, I got to ask
and
you a
then
question.
another thing is that kind of annoys me. You see everyone's like in panic mode and stuff, which I understand a little bit of your panic, but you all are buying these respirator
The
masks.
face mask? Do they do anything?
Well, the ones that they're buying, those should be only for like if you are in like a household with someone with the coronavirus or, you know, health professionals.
'Cause-
Because now I have to go to work and watch. There's going to be a shortage of freaking respirator masks.
Listen.
And I'm going to have some patient at one time that has the coronavirus. And I don't want that shit.
Listen, Andrew Pug from the Serial Killers, he recently went over to like maybe Japan or something. He went somewhere where it's not like super. It's really big in Italy right now too. I don't know if you read that.
I did.
But he went over there and he went over with his buddy who's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on the plane and they see all these people wearing these face masks, and his buddy's just like, "Wow, what a bunch of idiots! Like this mask isn't doing shit for you."
Yeah, the regular mask.
So, why are people buying them?
Well, there's a difference, Chris. The regular face mask, I mean, those are good. We use them for like the flu and stuff, whatever. But the respirator mask has a special filter in it, and that's the one they.
Oh,
It's not 100%
like a gas
guaranteed.
mask.
Eh,
All right, so yeah, so you feel like the coronavirus was legit. You feel
Yeah.
like it's a legit outburst, and we might, because we're fairly close to pandemic from what they're saying. No,
I mean, I don't agree with that, but that's fine.
all right. You notice how weird it is that Netflix had to hurry up and push that show Pandemic out like right
Yeah.
as and if you guys are interested in stocks, there's a stock that is coming up with the antidote, I guess is what you would call it, or vaccine. Yeah, coming up with the vaccine to kind of, I think they're going into human testing here soon to prevent the coronavirus. What do you think about that TikTok with the guy who says, "If I get the coronavirus, I hope I get some Lyme disease too, because you can't have corona without the Lyme."
I mean, that was obviously a joke, but
Yes.
people are actually like believing some weird thing about the Corona beer and the coronavirus. Like, people have stopped buying the Corona beer.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm being serious. Like, are you kidding me right now?
What does corona mean in coronavirus?
These came back from a search.
Well, he's not going to tell you guys, so I will. Corona is halo or crown. What's that mean, Danny? Halo or crown? Why would that be?
That's the shape of the virus, Chris.
Oh. Okay. So is it actually still called coronavirus, or did they switch it over to COVID-19 and it's no
It's
longer...
the same thing.
Listen, Danny. It's OC43229E. You know what those are?
No.
Me neither. I'm Googling it. I don't know what any of this is. Well, see, I don't have corona. Because I don't have a runny nose. I'm not fatigued. I don't cough.
You do too have a runny nose.
I don't have a sore
You're
throat. Holy shit, I have like almost all of these. Because look, I even told her that I'm having a hard time like keeping my breath in this podcast room. Holy shit, I think I have the coronas.
Stop.
I'm not a drinker though, so it's gonna have to go somewhere else. I'm not a big drinker, so it's gonna have to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have the coronas without the limes. Now you know where I stand. I like conspiracies. I like the idea of being able to put my own twist on things and making it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Did that make sense to you?
Which
The part that we think it might be population control. Does it make any bit of sense to you?
I mean, whatever. You always gotta have your conspiracy theorists.
Actually, one time I had thought about purchasing a website called conspiracytube.com because YouTube had been talking about how they were going to get rid of any conspiracy videos. They have yet to do so. But if you guys have money for a website, go ahead and buy that one because I think it might be profitable one day. But don't come back to me whenever it's not, because it might not be either. All right. What else you got, Danny? That was a really good subject. I enjoyed that.
I didn't enjoy it. I'm just saying, I'm tired of seeing it, but it's all over, so I figured we'd had to talk about it and stop buying fucking masks. So us people that have to work in the nasty areas of the hospital have resources, please.
All right, so I do know that They stopped filming Mission Impossible in Italy because of the pretty much
The
outbreak
outbreak.
of it over there. How did it get from? So is there like a patient zero in all these fucking?
I don't know about that.
Like, how is it spreading so far away?
Well, traveling and people see people, and there's like
Look, I'm not trying to be rude, but put them motherfuckers back on that plane and turn it around. Right?
no.
If you know that you're in a situation where we might have, the closest to bubonic plague that I'll ever see.
It is not. Will you stop?
Well,
you're
listen,
being now you're being ridiculous.
Listen, well, if you know that we have an issue, why are you letting motherfuckers still come over?
because they're not necessarily.
They have how many cases in America right now? 2?
No, 60 or something.
No,
like
not.
that.
They have like 60 Americans, but not cases in America.
Yes, huh?
How many people in America currently have the coronavirus?
Here's a result from search.
Oh, side note, if you know you have an app on your phone but can't find it, just say something like open YouTube.
So clearly, it did not understand what the fuck I was asking. But there's a good note. If you guys have an app but you can't find it and you have a Google phone or an Android, just say, hey, open YouTube. So that's cool. More than 2,700 people were infected in China, but that's not the U.S. Oh, you're right. 100 Americans in 26 states.
No, it's more than 60.
Yeah. So a little higher than the 2 that I thought it was.
A little bit.
Yeah. So it's weird. It's weird to talk about the coronavirus because you don't want to wish ill on anybody.
No.
And I feel like obviously people are going to die.
Oh, are you okay?
I just what are we doing to prevent more people from dying?
Been telling you, wash your goddamn hands.
That-
That is the most effective
Danny.
way to prevent spread.
Danny.
If someone's coughing, sneezing, you're supposed to stay 6 feet away at least.
All right.
And if you're sick,
I don't want to talk about
stay
corona no
home.
more. I don't want to talk about it no more. It's kind of fucked up. But like she said, I think the immune system of the older people is just, obviously it's not as
Well,
strong.
they're older, and then the older you get, the higher you have for more comorbidities, so like heart disease and stuff like that. So it just makes it harder to fight off an infection like that.
I'm pretty sure you guys are all tired of. Look, I'm not trying to be rude, Danny, but I'm the educated one, so stop cutting me off.
Okay, what are you gonna say?
Look,
Brad?
I know what I've Googled. Okay, I get that you went to school for the, health care, but that ain't got shit to do with what we're talking about. Now I'm just fucking with you guys. Listen to what Danny said.
Just wash your goddamn hands.
Wash your fucking
I swear
hands.
to God, that is like the most. I'm
After
sick and
everything,
tired of not
wash your
seeing-
hands after urinating.
Yeah,
Number 2.
shopping
Definitely shopping. 'cause
Coming
that's
home.
fucking gross, dude.
before you eat.
Do you know how many people have touched that buggy? But I'm
Try to avoid
I'm
touching
guilty
your
of it.
face.
I'm
Oh,
guilty
you're
of it.
definitely guilty of it. That's why I'm staring at you, telling you all these.
Which is so great because, like I explained a couple weeks ago, our podcast room is set up in a manner that I can't see her, so I don't care that
Mhm.
you're staring at me. Go ahead, stare me down, woman.
I am.
She's so fucking evil.
I'm not evil. I'm just speaking the truth.
Man, how pissed is she gonna be to know that we haven't been recording? Nah, I'm fucking with you guys. Currently talking to Shelly. Everybody knows who Shelly is.
Yep.
The probably MGK's biggest stan, to be real with you. And I was thinking about that. And this whole I hate Eminem, I hate MGK feud. You can't hate Eminem that much if you still want to use the word stan on a regular basis. Right?
Yeah.
I get that it's
What-
actually it is a word in the dictionary now.
Mm-hmm.
And it does have a meaning. But if you hated him a lot, you would just say I'm a fan of Kells. You would never, because by saying Stan, you're just giving more credit to the man. Who's the man, Danny?
Stan.
Eminem, dude. Devin Sawa is Stan. Isn't that weird? The guy from Final Destination is the guy who acted as Stan in the music videos.
Mm-hmm.
He was a schizophrenic. I think he needs a little bit of counseling to help his ass when he gets down some. Or some shit like that. I don't remember the words. Eminem recently launched what is called the Godzilla Challenge. Have you read into this at all, Danny?
I have. You were supposed to sing the really last part of his verse and not take a breath. Sorry.
So, I am actually going to try it,
Okay.
but I'm not going to do it fast. I'm going to slow it down on YouTube, and I'm going to... Hopefully he finds it humorous enough to send me something. Because whoever wins is going to get something, like, pretty exclusive. And if somebody's listening is a winner, I have money. I will buy that. I like exclusive shit. Concerts. We're going to see Mod Sun. We made that decision when? 2 days ago. Yep. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna get out of Mod Sun because he's not really a rapper. He happens to rap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. He's different. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be more intimate because obviously it's at a smaller venue, kind of like the Futuristic show a couple years back, which to this date, Futuristic has been the best live performance I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
That dude, if you ain't seen him, you should hop on it. But yeah, we're gonna go see Mod Sun. I have to call off work. That kind of sucks, but whatever. And we got Mod Sun. Then we got our boy
Cal
Scrooby, and that is literally 2 weeks after Mod Sun. And then a month later we have NF, and then hopefully $500 didn't go to waste, and we get to go see Justin Bieber.
Excuse me.
Now, I imagine they'll refund us, right?
Well, yeah.
I'm just a little disappointed that I bought the fucking insurance.
Well,
You know what I mean? They should refund
Yeah.
me on the insurance, too,
I agree.
because I did not choose. So Justin Bieber's having a hard time having ticket sales. Now, I don't know if you've read, but his promoters are probably going to try to push the angle of coronavirus. That the coronavirus has so many people too scared to purchase concert tickets. And I don't know that that's a viable... Is that the word I'm looking for? Is that a good excuse here?
I mean, it could be.
Is viable the word I was looking for? Let's see.
I
Oh,
think so.
Yeah, viable. Capable of working successfully. So yeah, I don't know. It might work, but I don't know. We were very disappointed to find out that... Like I just said, we spent a lot of money on these Bieber tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy Bob, I don't know if he was just trying to shit on my fucking parade, but he sent me an article that said that they were canceling. And I was like, no way. So I read further into it, and it doesn't say that they're canceling the show. It says that they don't know what they're doing with it.
And we got our
So-
CDs, so.
But yeah, I did get my CDs because it came with every ticket you buy comes with a CD. Now I know that's a little fucked up. That's trying to play the system. You're trying to, as Chris D'Elia would say, you're trying to game the system because that will count as an album sale.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of fucked up too because I had to purchase one just to get the pre-sale code. So then I got two more for purchasing the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So and then what happened right after pre-sale was over and they went into regular selling of the tour is whenever they announced that they were postponing it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's that. No chance of seeing Kalani because of fucking Biebs. That's cool. Fucker.
Mm.
And who else were we gonna? Oh yeah, we're gonna see Jaden Smith, which honestly I'm pretty stoked about. I thought that would
Yeah.
have been cool. I like Jaden Smith. I'm a fan of his music. I know that he's not like super big in the hip hop world, but he's creative. You would almost say that, he's taking an inspiration from Tyler the Creator. Get it? Because,
Yeah.
I'm giving you more than my wiener.
You're not funny.
Oh, speaking of wieners, all right. So I heard this pickup line, okay? Hey, girl,
What?
you should have a hot dog stand. God damn it, I fucked it up.
Like, rewind.
Hey, girl,
Yeah.
you should sell hot dogs.
Why?
Because you know how to make a wiener stand.
Huh.
No, yes, everybody knows that Tyler the Creator and Jaden Smith are on this unconfirmed relationship. It's only been confirmed like a couple of times, and we don't know that it was like a serious confirmation. I know you guys hear my bub in the background.
Giving a little cry,
He's
baby.
kind of whining. I'm not letting him in the podcast room.
No, none of them
Fuck
are
him.
coming in. Hey, don't say
Hey, no,
that.
fuck him.
No. Don't be rude to Bob Bob.
What up with Webby? What up with Chris Webby not coming to Cleveland this year?
He hates us.
Well, probably because nothing against you, Webb, but last time you came, you were late.
Yeah.
Like, very late.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so late that people didn't really want to stay. We did. We were drunk. Well, I wasn't because I don't drink. But, yeah. So that kind of sucked. But it was a good show nonetheless. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Really weird openers there, though. Remember
That
that
one freaking
alien fucker?
dude.
Yeah. At least we both know what we're talking about, because that dude was...
I think Ryan actually liked him.
Yeah,
didn't he?
Ryan was bumping his CD for months. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, yeah. I don't know what the guy's name was. Oh, and there was a fella named Zebro there who was actually pretty good. That long hair.
The only
white
one I
boy,
remember is the alien guy.
Alien fucker.
I'm like, what the hell is going on?
So, what does the term breaking the internet mean?
I don't know, like in disbelief. Everyone's in like shock. Who knows?
So, back to the Eminem challenge, the Godzilla challenge.
Mhm.
Everything I'm reading says Eminem breaks the internet, but I don't. I'm still on the internet.
All right, you're being literal.
So did you break it, motherfucker, or? They're about to be diamond. Godzilla is about to be a diamond certified song, which is 1 million tracks sold. Pretty good for only being released maybe 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not even 4, just under a month. So I think that's pretty cool. Guess what today is?
What's today?
I think it's called like Leap Day.
Yeah.
Is it Leap Day?
Yes.
So you guys have been lucky enough you're going to hear a podcast. I don't know when you're listening, but I released it on a day that doesn't exist.
Ooh.
Well, it does once every 4 years.
Yeah.
I know people who were born on Leap Day, and talk about a shitty birthday.
I agree.
I had a teacher once who told me that technically, if we were to talk about birthdays that were actually celebrated on my birthday,
I'd be 4.
yeah.
Yeah. Something stupid. Like 10.
And I wanted to fucking take my stapler and slap her in the fucking face.
Stop. Now you're being
Shut
ridiculous.
the fuck up. You think you're funny? You think that's funny?
You're ridiculous.
You think that's funny?
Stop.
Because it was pretty funny as a kid. You're right. Danny,
Yes.
what you got?
Well-
What's going on with this? I read an article today about how BTS, or people are calling Eminem racist. I don't know if you've known about that.
No.
That Nick Cannon thing, I don't know if it actually had anything to do with it, but Royce the 5'9" is in Eminem's corner, super heavy. He says, he's not racist.
Mm-hmm.
People make mistakes. But now, people are pointing the finger at BTS. You know who that is?
No.
They are like a Chinese band, maybe? Or they're K-pop. That's what, Korean pop, yeah.
Mhm.
And calling them racist. But I don't know why. So I was wondering if you had any
Why would
input.
I know?
I don't know.
I don't even know who they are.
Well, yeah, I know you don't have that now, but let's see. Did everybody register to vote?
I did.
I sure hope so.
Well, that was for our Ohio.
Well, Ohio, yeah. Ohio's last day to register was last week, and I actually did convince Ryan to register.
I hope you're following your politics and
Yeah.
voting.
2020, man, it's going to be in my lifetime, this will be one of the most important ones.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to sway you one way or another.
Nope.
I
I'm
would
just saying
prefer you
vote.
do the same to me. Allow me that courtesy of not, throwing in my face who you think should be it. But let's talk about that. I wanted to ask, open forum.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody listening? There's a guy at work who's a Trump fan. There's a guy at work who's not a Trump fan. Would you consider harassment that every time the Trump fan sees the not a Trump fan, he pulls up some video of like Bernie getting run over by a lawnmower or some shit like. He just finds a way to get under the dude's skin because
Yeah.
he's not a Trump fan. I think that's harassment.
I feel like it's harassment, and political views should stay out of the workplace.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna be what's the word, a dick about
You're
it.
bullying.
Yeah.
You're trying to bully someone who doesn't agree with you.
Right. So, I mean, that's why I try not to talk about politics. Chris and I have decided, like, a long time ago we didn't want to, but now I really don't care. You can hate me for my political views, but I don't care. Like,
Yeah, no,
you shouldn't be a bully.
My political views are mine and only mine. I don't want you to feel like you should support, socialistic views or whatever. I do, not you. That's cool. I get that we're all unique for reasons. However, the guy who does the bullying, I know that he listens, and I hope he still does. I'm not trying to take a stab at you, just the situation. Like, they say never talk about three things: religion,
Money.
politics, and money. Yep.
And I was trying to, like, educate someone at work because they asked me how much I make. I'm like,
What?
Yeah.
What?
You never ask anyone how much you make. It's just rude. Like, why do you care?
Was it someone of equal status?
I mean, I wasn't. No, it was just a random ass person. But why are you asking me how much I make?
So it wasn't even an employee.
No.
That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird.
Yeah. So I was taught don't talk about money,
yeah, 'cause you
religion,
create
or
issues.
politics because those can create animosity.
Animosity.
Shut the fuck up. You
Now,
just said-
Danny, you're in a job where it actually will create animosity because not every RN makes the same amount of money.
Mhm.
Like my job, we have a set top rate per tier.
We technically do, but sometimes it's based off experience. So, I mean, I don't know.
Why you think she'd be making that bread?
All right.
No, for real. Like recently, I've been able to stop picking up overtime because she's been picking up overtime.
Yeah, which is annoying.
I actually had somebody at work say that to me. They're like, "Dude, are you for real? You're bragging about how your old lady been picking up all this overtime, and you keep taking these EOs, which means early out. Like we have a lack of work, so they're letting us leave early. It's by choice, unless you're on overtime. If you get an EO on overtime, it's forced. But on your regular shift, they offer it, and it's up to you to take it." And he's like, "That's fucked up. You's a bitch." I'm like, "Oh, I never looked at it that way."
And he still don't care.
Well, I do remember when I was working really, really hard and she was going to school, she promised.
Yeah, and I mean, you also have to keep up equal work.
Please don't email me about that one, guys, because I know where the moral compass lies, and I know
Like,
that
I don't pick up overtime for you to, like, take time off. Like,
I don't-
that is not what my goal is, but I don't say anything. I usually don't.
So today, Bobby had asked me
Mm-hmm.
if I feel like I am a good am good at improv comedy. Am I good at coming up with a comical sketch like at a moment's notice? I feel like I'm pretty comical. What do you think?
To you,
You don't think I am? You don't think I can? You don't think I can come up with something funny, quick?
I mean,
Maybe. All right. Let's say maybe not funny. Maybe clever. I'd like to say I'm more clever than I look. Like, what about that? TJ Miller liked my post. All right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you come with the quick, like, witty comebacks.
It was a picture of Chris D'Elia, a picture of TJ Miller, and a picture of Bobby Lee, and it said, "Caption this." It was one of those caption this pictures. So my reply was, "Congratulations, Silicon Valley has gone mad." Now, if anybody knows anything about those three people, you would understand what I said. So go ahead and do some research. Try to figure out what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that you think I'm witty. I'm happy that you think I have some pretty clever comebacks. Brooklyn Boys just released their new episode today, and guess how long it is?
How long?
1 hour and 42 fucking minutes
That's long.
of pure comical genius. Who do you think's funnier, Scary or Brody?
I don't know.
All right, so her and I are both on the same page. There are certain times that Brody just beats the shit out of the grammar Nazi thing. And
yeah, I'm like, dude, seriously.
to a degree, it's funny, but when you start like berating and
Nitpicking.
putting people down because of it, it's not that funny.
No.
Like the times that you call like customer service and somebody says something that's not up to your status,
Mm-hmm.
kind of not funny to like make them feel dumb. I'm not a fan of correcting people in a manner that makes them feel dumb.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I know.
I think it's rude. And personally, I'm a rude ass dude.
yeah,
So for me to think something's rude, it's fucking rude. Yeah, and that's why we
pretty much when we went to the movies, since we did go to the movies, last week.
Oh yeah,
and we
Impractical
went to see
Jokers,
Impractical
y'all.
Jokers.
Ooh,
We
wanna-
got our tickets.
We got our money's worth.
Well, we got our tickets, and we are going past the guy that's supposed to like tear.
Time's out. This was not rude, all right?
The way you
Put
said it,
yourself in my situation.
I understand your reasoning, but the way you said it was rude.
All right, so I'll explain the story
Go
because you're
ahead.
gonna paint a bad picture.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna paint a pretty one. We
Why don't you
had
paint the real one?
We had to purchase our tickets at the concession booth.
Mhm.
Okay. And upon purchasing them, the person who handed me my ticket already ripped it and gave me the directions to my theater. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He already said make a right down there. All right, whatever. So as we're walking over, there's another dude who wants to take my tickets, even though they've already been done. So I said, "What do you want, dude? These are already done." I don't think that's rude.
You said it kind of like that, but like,
Well, he stared at me like I'm fucking stupid. I was like, she already did it, dude. Was that more accurate?
kinda. I mean, it was.
Is that rude?
You like gave him an attitude about
Is
it.
that rude, though?
Kinda.
Bobby, listen. Tell me if that was rude, because I don't think it fucking was.
I mean, just
It was
You could've said it a
slightly
little bit
rude.
nicer.
It was slightly rude whenever the purchaser or the people at the concession stand said, "I can help whoever's next." And people were like not paying attention, and I was. So I cut everybody.
well, I don't agree that we were rude there because you didn't move, so we moved.
Yeah. Well, as I was approaching the concession stand, people got mad.
Oh, tough shit.
I can help whoever's paying attention, is what you should say.
Yeah, because we were paying attention.
But no, Impractical Jokers definitely
Worth the money.
more than what I expected.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be
Way-
stupid.
Because
I really
honestly,
did.
I hated Jackass movies. I did not think they were funny. I liked the TV show, but Jackass.
But
the
these are
movie-
more classy.
Yes,
Like
and
they're not like
and that's what it is. I think that's why. I think you just hit it. I think that's why Impractical Jokers is more appealing because they're more classy.
yeah.
You could tell that part of it was scripted.
Well, yeah, they had to have a movie, but just the pranks and stuff. It
Pretty
was
funny.
fun.
Pretty funny, especially the cocaine in the trunk of the car. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Are you the fuzz? We don't want to give
All
much
right, yeah,
away because I
don't.
want you guys to go see it. I really do. They had a soft opening, which means that they only opened in select theaters. I really want you guys to make this a national movie. It was a good movie, and the more people who go see it, the bigger it will become. And honestly, these 4 people, like the Impractical Jokers, they deserve it. They've been going hard for 9 years, and they even in a movie poke fun at how season 5 was a garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall, but yeah. If we don't go see Justin Bieber, I think we will go see them because they're gonna be here at the Cavelli Center in I think like July or something. But
Their tickets are expensive.
they are. They're just about as expensive as the Justin Bieber tickets. So that's why we were like uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to keep this going a little bit if you're down for talking for a
going.
little while. All right.
Can you open? No, it's probably full out
Another
there.
movie that we've seen recently was that Birds of Prey.
Mm-hmm. It was okay. We didn't hate it. We didn't love it.
Correct. Now I do, as whack as it is, I do want to go see that new Fast and the Furious movie.
I do too, but only because nostalgia hits you.
You're
and
almost forced to.
I know, and everyone when we were watching like the previews when we were waiting for Impractical Jokers to come, there's this guy that like was. I mean, I get it, dude. I know.
Heckling it, saying they beat it to death, and
Not beating it to death. He's like, it's so unrealistic. I'm like, I get it because when they first started, they were more realistic.
Yeah, more like real world
Yeah.
physics.
But when you're watching the previews for this recent, it's just like, are you kidding me? So, I mean, I felt it when that guy was talking shit. I'm like, I'm still going to see it, though.
I'm personally, I'm impressed that they have been able to create a Fast and the Furious world. Much like, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Fast and Furious is just the world. So whatever the movie is, it could be the story of Dom, and you'll watch it. It could be, it could be anything, because Fast and the Furious presents the movie. So you're expecting a Fast and the Furious world, but a movie about whatever presents is. You know what I mean? My biggest thing is, they do know that John Cena and Vin Diesel don't have this. They're not the same race.
What?
Like, John Cena is, like, white, and Vin Diesel's, like, clearly not white. So for them to be brothers kind of threw me off a little bit, but whatever, dude. I'm open to anything. Like this, Danny just said, unrealistic.
Yeah.
So
I'm
take
still
it.
going to see it.
I'll take it. Let's talk about Netflix for a little bit, all right?
All right.
Let's talk about...
Can you talk for a second while I go, like, open a door or something? It's kind of hot
Yeah,
and stuff
no
in
doubt.
here.
So we've been watching this TV show. It's called I Don't Think I'm Okay With This. Or I'm Not Okay With This, I think is what it's called. I am not okay with this. And it's got this woman named Sophia Lillis in it. She is from It. If you guys remember the movie It, the reboot, you'll remember her. I believe this girl could go on to perform all of the roles that Molly Ringwald had in the John Hughes movies. 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, all these. I think she could do pretty well. So, with that said, I think you guys... Well, and the show itself is pretty good. When Danny gets back in here, I'll let her tell you how she feels about the show, because it's worth watching. All right, Danny's back. So what do you think about this I Think I'm Okay show?
I mean, we pretty much watched it we could have watched it in a whole day if we wanted to.
Because we didn't realize that it was only, the 7 shows or whatever. But well, good.
I mean, I thought it was pretty crazy. Like, I thought it was really good.
So what I like about it is Danny and I have noticed that we don't mind the hour-long TV shows, but they're really hard to watch. Like, they're really hard to binge watch because our typical day is 12 hours at work, an hour, for the drive, so 13 hours away from home. We want to watch something, but you can't watch 2 episodes of the morning show before you go to bed for work, because now you're looking at like 11 a.m. that you're going to bed.
And that's not happening.
Oh, which, by the way, the morning show on Apple TV Plus, pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking good. I'm pretty shocked. I'm like, whoa, this is way better than I imagined it would be. So, but back to the Netflix show. I highly suggest that you guys watch this I Think I'm Okay. Or I'm Not Okay With This. God damn it.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of MGK. It's just stupid. Because I think they even spell okay with all caps and shit. So... yeah, I'm not okay with this. It's a pretty good show. Like I said, it has the woman from It. And what did you see what I'm talking about? Do you think that she could perform the Molly Ringwald movies? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like John Hughes needs to hit up, like, Paramount Pictures, Warner Bros., somebody, and say, yo, let's reboot all my movies. I mean, we're rebooting the fuck out of everything anyway. Mm-hmm. Why not do that?
Candyman.
Candyman. Oh, my God. Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele makes some pretty...
creepy.
iffy movies in my eyes, honestly. I really did like You, or what is it called?
Us.
No, I hated Us. What's the one with
Get Out.
Get Out? I liked Get Out. That was good. Us,
It's creepy.
Us takes a couple watches before you realize what's going on, and once you figure it out, it's cool. You switch. You're actually supposed to be in the underworld. Oh, cool. Whatever. Spoiler alert, by the way. I guess I should have said that prior. No, but I think what he and I knew it was Jordan Peele just watching the trailer, because Jordan Peele has a very distinct sound with his soundtrack. It's Beyonce's "Say My Name," but with really fucked up, like, scratching sounds, and I think it's gonna be good. Candyman is actually one of the most scary movies that I watched growing up. I only fucked with like three horror like villains who scared me, and Candyman was one of them. Chucky, He used to scare the fucking ever living shit out of me. And honestly, like Jason and Freddy and them, not so much. I'd have to say my third one, and I never watched it, but it did scare me. Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
Really?
Yeah, that was the reason I never watched it, because I know the "Here comes Johnny" or some shit like that. I know that, the axe in the door. I've seen the scene plenty of times. I don't want to watch. It's just not a movie I think I'd be interested in. Because he's scary. Jack Nicholson's a scary motherfucker. I mean, he's a good actor, but he's scary.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. What else? Oh yeah, we just got sidetracked because of the reboots. Pete Davidson, stand-up comedian, had a show called Alive.
Yeah, something like
Alive in New York. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was funny. Some of his stand-up comedy was funny.
He is one of my more sought-after stand-up comedians. I feel like he's capable of hanging with the best.
Mm-hmm.
You might even put him in a conversation that George Carlin's a part of one day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Pete Davidson's pretty funny, and I think what it is he's very self-deprecating. He's learned how to capitalize on talking shit about himself, and to me, that's funny. That takes balls.
Yeah.
It takes balls to say, Ariana Grande fucked me over by saying I have a big dick, because I really don't. Like, that's funny. And I love the joke about it. I'm not going to tell you guys it because I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. Danny noticed something that I noticed. I was under the impression, because people were making these very vague posts, so I thought Pete Davidson had talked shit about MGK somewhere in there. Nope. He paid homage to MGK.
Mm-hmm.
And the very final song was MGK's, what is it, Glass House?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's cool. I think they have a friend, even though you don't see them all the time anymore, I think they have a friendship that most people would want. It seems like a genuine friendship that's really hard to find in Hollywood, I think.
Right.
I feel like that type of friendship is
They're all fake.
Yeah, because in Hollywood, all you're looking for is what can I gain.
Right.
So I think that's cool. I think that they look out for each other is pretty cool. I also know, a couple weeks ago, there was some beef going on between MGK and Rook. Did you read about that at all?
Mm-mm.
MGK was posting these very cryptic tweets that people thought were lyrics from a song. And then they found out, because MGK replied, he's like, no, these aren't lyrics. This is some real shit. The tweet was, "What's going on?" That's what Rook said. And then MGK said, yeah, I wish I knew too, because this is killing me. So that's crazy. Because they've been best friends for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Rook dropped out of high school to, it was a leap of faith to go tour with MGK. Could you imagine MGK coming to your high school saying, hey, we're about to go on tour. We like the drum covers that you put on YouTube. Would you please come with us?
Right.
How do you make that decision?
I mean,
because keep in mind, MGK he wasn't as big then as he is now.
Right.
So that was a pretty risky move.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cool. A lot of people that I talk to, at work and shit, for some reason they believe that Rook is MGK's brother, but he's not. Has nothing to do with MGK's family at all. They're family by, bond, not by blood.
Right.
And I know you're not listening to this, Daniel Foltz, but I really wish you would do your research about this shit before you talk about it. I'm not a fan of people who talk about shit that they haven't researched anyway. Typically, whenever I argue with you about something, that means I put some pretty heavy thought and research into it, right, Danny?
Yeah.
There was this argument I had at work where dude actually wanted to put MGK down. It kind of annoyed me. He was saying, MGK's not even talented. I was like, oh, I beg to differ. If anybody who's made at least $1 million doing what they do offers some sort of talent. Whether or not you want to agree with that theory, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're making a living doing what you do, that means you're talented at what you're doing. All right, so the guy was like, well, he sucks at playing guitar. Well, he sucks at playing drums. That's why I took that video of the drum solo and posted it. I was like, oh, the verdict is in. The verdict is in. He is not talentless. So, I'm going on. I'm arguing with this guy. And he's hating on rap in general. I was like, oh, you mean the number one genre of music in the United States is a bunch of talentless fucks? And he's like, it ain't the number one genre. Rock is. So, what did I do? What did I do, Danny? I went like this. What is the number one genre of music in the United States of America?
Here's a summary from CBS News. Country and rock are America's favorite music genres.
That's wrong. That's way wrong. Is hip-hop the number one genre of music?
According to USAtoday.com, for the first time ever, R&B, hip-hop has surpassed rock to become the biggest music genre in the U.S. in terms of total consumption.
So why the fuck did you just say some shit about country? That's kind of embarrassing. That's the second time that he's done that. On our podcast, I've tried to get my Google to give you the answer of shit, and then the one time was really awkward how they worded it. They said something about like Outkast is the second group to perform to perform at the Oscars, right behind Eminem's "Lose Yourself." It was a very annoying, but nonetheless, hip hop is the number one genre in America because of why? Because it's good. It's listenable. It's not the fact. All right, I'm not trying to throw you under a bus, Shelly, but the fact that it is able to reach a 57-year-old woman, that screams volumes. I don't know what to tell you, but that's pretty crazy. Back in the day, you would have never, not throwing you under the bus, Shelly. I'm not trying to imply your age is crazy or anything. But back in the day, you would have never saw your grandmother listening to hip-hop. Unless, she grew up on hip-hop. Right? So I think it's cool. I think it's cool that, and it just so happens to be MGK. Shelly is, MGK's biggest stan. And, he came into her life in a time where she was going through a depression, which happens to be the story for pretty much everybody who listens to MGK, I feel. And somehow, hip-hop. It wasn't about Bruce Springsteen that got her through it, which is one of her favorites. It was hip-hop. And I think that's cool. What are you looking up over there?
Oh, just the obituaries.
Oh. That's interesting.
I do it every day. Just an FYI. That's a little fun fact about Danielle. I look at all the obituaries every day. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
On to the next subject. There is a Google employee in Switzerland who tested positive for coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how... All right, so, working for a big corporation like that, I imagine that's way scarier than, just taking it home. Somebody, your potential... Because I imagine they employ a lot of people. So if you brought the coronavirus to work, you probably, scared the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Shelly's probably going to think that I am dogging her. I'm talking to her. I said, hey, we're on a podcast. Do you want to come on? And she said, what are you guys talking about? I don't want to interrupt, LOL. Right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, my phone has these, predictive things that it thinks, you can hit the button and it will text it for you. And I texted, never mind. I did not mean to say never mind. So she replies with, I'm confused. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not being a dick that you think I'm being right now. Now I got to explain to her, my phone has these stupid-ass auto replies that I never use. Unless I only use them by accident. So, yeah, there's that. So, hopefully, maybe she comes on. Maybe she comes on and talks about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a lot that, I know that I feel like we owe them a lengthier show. I feel like we acknowledged we've been dropping the ball. We have, well, I don't all right, so everybody knows we're working on a new project, which we haven't started. All right. We're just in the thinking phase of it right now. This project will require an in-depth amount of research per episode. Okay? That's going to be hard. I don't know that Kevin's doing it with us, Danny.
Oh, well, we'll figure it out.
So you guys know Kevin, obviously.
Mhm.
And we formulated this idea. Well, Danny and I kind of formed it on our own. And then one day we were all brainstorming, and of all the ideas that everybody came up with, this one just kept coming back up. So, and I can't even say Danny and I. Danny came up with it. I stole it. I ran with it. And I ran so
Far away.
Stop it.
So yeah, can't tell you guys what it is. Not because we don't want to, but there's not one out there like this. I've done my research. I don't believe that there's a podcast out there like what we're gonna work on. And if I put it out there, somebody might take it. And I honestly, we want this to be a very organic podcast. I want it to grow on its own. You're not going to see me on Twitter spamming people. Oh, hey, listen to this. Oh, hey, listen to this. It was really hard to get the fucking 700 subscribers we got. And I feel like they only did it out of pity. I don't want that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So with our new podcast, keep in mind, guys, it is following the WTF outline. WTF will be involved in it. WTF is obviously an acronym. For this podcast, it stands for Weekly Talk Featuring. Can't tell you what the other one's going to be, what it's going to stand for, but it's going to be cool. And I'm confident that upon the organic growth, I think somebody big will recognize it.
Yeah.
I think somebody big will run into this podcast and be like, wow, how the fuck did we not, already have this on our platform? And that's where I think Danny and I are going to be able to quit nursing and throwing boxes. What do you mean? Well, she says she still wants to work. However,
a little bit.
if I can, back into Brink's truck like Chris D'Elia does with congratulations, I'm going to quit. I'm definitely going to quit. My goal for making money on a podcast is really not as much as people would think. I don't want to make millions of dollars.
Mm-mm.
I will be content with my podcast making $200,000 a year. Don't laugh. That's not a big number. In the podcast world, that's actually relatively small.
Mm-hmm.
What did Joe Rogan make last year on his podcast, Danny?
I don't remember, Chris.
What did Joe Rogan make on his podcast last year?
This came back from a search.
You fuckers. How much money per episode is what it's... All right, so I'm going to have to read this a little bit, so kind of drag the show on a little bit, Danny.
What do you want me to talk about?
Wow!
What?
$75,000
An episode?
per episode.
Wow.
Oh, wait, no, that's Michael Bisping. Never mind. That's not Joe Rogan.
Our Google's acting up.
Why?
Because didn't you just ask him to look that up and
Yeah.
he didn't?
Joe Rogan, I want to think it's in the $80,000 to $90,000 range per episode, because I know that he is the highest paid podcaster, and it's because his shit is funny. It's all about conspiracies, so if you're into that, go over to the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm not into the conspiracies. However, that's not why he's the most successful. He was ahead of its time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He capitalizes on... He's able to... He makes all this money because he was the first to do the video cast. He was honestly the first, series podcast. He really was. I tried to get into it, and his earlier shit, the quality's not there, which, honestly, who has good quality in their earlier podcast? We're on episode 29, and our quality's still whack, so whatever. So, yeah, that's why Joe Rogan was a pioneer, essentially, of the podcasting age. I have noticed that a lot of people are starting to recognize just how big podcasting could be.
Right.
I mean, for fuck's sake, Netflix is trying to come up with its own podcasting platform. Ain't that weird?
Yeah.
They're going to have podcasts about TV shows. I don't know. With that, I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna feel like podcasting is gonna be it's gonna fall into the SoundCloud trend where it's just oversaturated. You're not gonna be able to find what you're looking for, and you're gonna give up. So, hopefully, all you dieharders who have your own shows, don't let the big man put you down. Don't let the big man stop your show. You're gonna survive. I promise. Danny, I
Yes.
guess you're pretty much done talking. I can tell.
No, I'm researching
What are you researching?
my Today I Learned.
Wow. So she's right. Shelly had mentioned something that you said. 38% of Americans will not drink Corona because of this virus. That, my friends, is ignorance.
Yeah.
You have got to be fucking shitting me.
No.
Why would you? Why?
Ignorance or
Oh, shit. Guess what?
Hmm.
So everybody knows how Danny threw away that $1 bill.
yeah.
She let me spend more money on other shits. And what did I get?
Seinfeld, another Seinfeld.
Got another Seinfeld autograph. Already, it's encapsulated by Beckett, which is one of the top, COAs. So, I got me some pretty cool autographs, y'all. Revelo Raps from Twitter. He's from the UK. He's a rapper. I talk to him every now and then. He is actually going to send us a signed CD, and just because he's honored that people want a signed CD, that's pretty cool. I don't know, man. You think this collection of mine is ever gonna stop?
I doubt it.
Are you cool with that?
As long as you're not wasting all our money.
Whoa, what the fuck? Did you read about that girl from Elyria, Ohio,
No.
who was fined $4,000 by Ohio Edison for meter tampering?
Ooh.
Dude, that would suck.
Oh, speaking of shitty people, did you see there was, I don't know if the woman was from Iowa or Idaho, I can't remember. I think it starts with an I. Like, she was told by a judge, you better produce your children, like, now, because I guess they've been missing since January.
What the fuck?
And, like, the grandparents, I think, said something. But, like, I don't remember her name. I'm just thinking, like, I should look up her name before I get into detail. But basically, she was married to this one guy who ended up dying from her brother who shot him because they said self-defense or something.
Was she
yada yada.
Was she arrested in Hawaii?
Yes.
All right.
And I think it's her recent husband, they got married 2 weeks after his wife mysteriously died, and he refused an autopsy, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. Anytime you go straight for the cremation. Yeah.
And then your children are nowhere to be found. I don't know. It seemed kind of shady. I'm like, where's your children that you're, like, not producing? Like, I mean, if the
They
judge...
haven't been seen since September.
September. Wow. I thought it was January, but oof. I mean, like, seriously.
She's being held on a
And
$5
she wants,
million
she wants it to
bond.
be reduced. No, I think it should be higher.
Yeah, you want it reduced? Where the fuck
Where
are your kids?
Yeah, where are your children? I just thought just clicked in my head when you said something about tampering the. Not that tampering the meter is way worse.
I honestly can't get over how disgusting some parents are with their children.
Yeah, I'm
like that TV
seriously.
show on Netflix now, that new documentary. I don't know what it's called, but it's about a case where the parents killed the child.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, what the fuck?
I don't even know if I want to watch that or not.
Why the fuck? I don't know, man. I would kill to have a child. I'm trying very, very hard. Something's not working right. I don't know, but it is. I don't know. It blows my mind. It bothers me to think that there are people out there who see their children as a burden enough to kill them.
Right.
Like, there's so many other options. Drop it off at the fire station. Something. Give it to the grandparents. Obviously, they cared.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just hope for
Now,
the best.
please don't think that I'm against, like, abortion and shit like that. That's way earlier than 17 years old. And I'm pro-choice. Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Mm-hmm.
Pro-choice.
Yep.
Do what you do. So hey, if you're not
But quit-
pro-choice, go ahead and stab me in it.
Quit
call
popping
me a
them
piece
out.
of
Like,
shit.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, not popping up, but quit getting pregnant.
So
like,
you
for real.
commonly hear that old people should have to take an exam to prove that they can drive, right? Why do we not have exams for people who? I know it sounds fucked up, and I know it sounds like a violation of rights, but if you can't properly take care of a child,
Why do you keep producing?
well, all right. So just here in Ohio, I know personally, I know people who only see their children as a dollar sign. For some reason, their tax returns are worth way more to them than the rest of the year of misery that these children are putting quote unquote putting them through.
Mm-hmm.
That's just baffling to me.
Yeah.
You're willing to have a child just for a source of income? You do know we're in a pretty good economy. Y'all can go get jobs.
Yeah, you can.
It's fucking weird. So yeah, Danny and I, we are we're so against like child abuse that it's unbelievable.
Well, I'm glad we're against child abuse. I think that's a line I can not cross.
And the thing is, like, some people might think that we are a little over the top with it. You know what I mean? Like,
what?
Because like I don't like any form of child abuse. I really don't like when a mother says, fuck you, you motherfucker, or I fucking hate you. That to me is just as bad as any of the other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, stop popping them out if you don't want them.
Right.
Before you stop popping them out, let me hit you guys up next year if Danny and I are unable to, and I'll grab one off you.
Are you kidding me? Shut up.
I'm just fucking with you. Did you know legally you are not allowed to purchase a child off of somebody?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
Well, listen.
good.
I was,
are you
alright,
kidding
so,
me?
So because of Elvis Duran, there are a lot of podcasts that I fuck with. There's a show called My Dirty Little Secret. Okay, it is with Carla Marie and Anthony. They actually have because of podcasting, they earn their own radio show in Seattle. Ain't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
But My Dirty Little Secret is just a little 3-minute sketch where they talk to people who call in and mask their voices and shit. And one of them was a guy who has 2 children that nobody in his family knows about in Alaska. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was he was at college. He got on Craigslist and he saw this lesbian couple who wanted to have kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see where this is going?
Mm-hmm.
They both wanted to be pregnant. All right. So, they try. They both end up pregnant. And then later on down the road, this guy received a check for them for $3,000. And he was very ashamed of it because of how illegal that is. That, like, you can't pay me to have sex with you.
Right.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool what you did. Obviously, if they can send you money for doing that for them, I'm pretty sure they're capable of taking care of the child.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's cool. I'm not against that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not against, same-sex marriages wanting children. I think it's really weird that people are against that.
Yeah.
Because, like, what you eat don't make me shit.
Mm-hmm.
So why does it matter? How do you feel about it?
What, same-sex couples?
Yeah,
or-
well, same-sex couples having children, having families.
As long as they're not shitty people, I don't care.
So you don't believe that their choice, not choice, their status, their marital status, you don't believe that has a hindrance on whether or not they're capable of raising a child?
I don't think so. I dropped my phone.
No, I don't believe so either. And I feel like they get judged. Like, you see 2 dudes and a kid, some people automatically assume they're touching that kid.
Yeah.
Or they're doing weird shit. And that's fucked up, dude. Stop being so judgmental. Stop being so quick to judge. We all talk about how, we should be against bullying, but we all bully.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? I'm guilty as fuck of it. I'm a big bully.
Yeah.
But I try to bully for I'm like the guy who wants to bully the bully.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not afraid to get my ass kicked. So if I see you over there, picking on somebody just because you think they're different, I'm going to come pick on you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's, I don't know. It's like a vigilante. I'm doing a good deed, even though if you were to see me bullying the bully, you're gonna feel bad for the bully because you didn't see him bullying the kid who couldn't defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I hope when Danny and I have kids, that's what they do. If you're in high school and you see somebody getting picked on, I want you to befriend that kid, and I want you to fucking tell the other kid fuck off.
Whatever you say.
Any of you single mothers out there, you should talk to your children. Or not single mothers. Not single mothers. Anybody who has a kid, talk to your children and see if there's anybody in their class
Just you single mothers.
who may not eat lunch ever. All right. More often than not, that means they can't afford lunch. And maybe if you are, blessed and you're able to afford to pack an extra lunch every day, have your kid give it to them. I think that'll go a far way. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and get into Today I Learned. I know we've been rambling on.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, though, we had this pretty productive episode. I don't feel like we had too much dead space.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we talked about quite a bit of good shit. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get into Today I Learned, all right?
Yeah.
Disregard, guys. We're not getting into Today I Learned right now. I want you guys to start emailing us more. I feel like that might be part of why we've kind of fallen off a little bit. The motivation for the show is kind of like not there anymore because I don't have that
Drive.
interaction with you guys anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Back when we first started, dude, we were getting emails all the time. I haven't had an email outside of, fucking spam for a long time. So, where can they email us at, Danny?
WTF Dave and Chris at gmail.com.
Whoa. Why Dave and Chris?
Because we still like Dave.
Oh, yeah, we still like you, Dave. Yeah, I had to throw that in there. Obviously, that's the whole point of why I even said we're not getting into Today I Learned. So, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
Aren't you going to tell them to call you?
Oh, yeah, call me at 859-444-4641. How do I still remember that?
I have no idea.
Ain't that crazy? Yeah, motherfuckers.
That's ridiculous.
Obviously, try to 5 stars and shit like that. Try to leave us all kinds of stuff on Twitter. And, yeah, I like interacting with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys keep this thing going. So if you don't interact,
We don't keep going.
we don't keep going. Brittany, obviously you interact all the time. I noticed that you slipped up and said you had your daily question. So start bringing a daily questions. No, I'm just
No.
I'm joking.
Way too much
Yeah.
question.
All right, so today I learned about Operation Flagship, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. Marshals sent letter to 5,000 fugitives telling them that they had won NFL tickets and to come and collect their prize at a convention center. Guess what?
What?
100 of them dumbasses showed up and got arrested.
Oh, my God.
So with that being said, because we're watching a show called McMillions right now too.
Mm-hmm.
Do not, if you get a letter saying that you won something, don't fall for it. You ain't win shit. What it is the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, the CIA, DEA, they're trying to get you.
Gonna get you.
They're going to bust your ass as soon as you walk through it. And that one girl, she didn't want to be a part of this Mike Millions.
Stop.
Yeah. So here we are. Where's your Today I Learned, yeah?
According to Switzerland's law, social animals like guinea pigs must have a buddy with them.
What?
Owning only one is considered animal abuse and is illegal.
Honestly, I could see that.
Yeah, because they like to talk to each other. Like, sweet.
Could you imagine being put into a cage by yourself?
No.
How shitty would that be?
That'd be horrible.
Yeah. So yeah, let them bitches squeak together. I feel like there's a lot of laws that we should have that we don't, and there's a lot of laws that we shouldn't have that we do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't know. One of the biggest laws I think the whole country or the whole world should abolish, this motherfucking illegal big game hunting, okay?
Yeah. Why do you have to bring that up?
Anybody involved in that should be put into prison for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're like, even if you're considering doing it, like oh, hey, I had the money to blow. I want to contact somebody. Nope, you're arrested. Going to prison. Even thinking about it, I feel, because that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
You don't want the elephants and shit. You don't want your kids reading about or learning about them through books. I want them to be able to see what the fuck they actually were.
Right.
All right. Now, with that said, we're going to go ahead and throw on that outro and get the fuck out of here, all right? As always, go ahead and leave us those 5-star reviews. Enjoy your leap year, y'all. This is fucking February 29th. You only get to say that once every 4 years. Hit us up. Shout out to Josh. I love you, even though you went to day turn. Fuck off. Have a good one, y'all. Peace. One more thing. K Duncan Fat Dulce just dropped their new single. Go check it out. We'll see if we can get them on here if you guys would like that. Have a good one.